This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, Lakshmi. Okay. Uh, Hello, hi guys. Can someone please confirm on my voice and screen share?
Yes, we can hear you and see it.
Is it right? Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Uh,
we can hear you.
yep. Super. Yeah. So let's get started, guys. Just let me make it. Yeah. So hello everyone. Hi guys. Good morning and good evening. Who are from overseas? So welcome to today's session. It's about a simple demo on Selenium test automation actually. So we will be learning or we will be discussing more on software testing that to where the automation and also the different tools and what is the importance of Selenium and all. Okay. So let's get started. Guys, before I start the session, so I request everyone to please mute yourself. So anyway, I will be providing 10 to 15 minutes at the end of the session for your queries or your whatever concerns or doubts you have. So we can discuss all the questions at the end. During the session, if you have any questions, please note down or you can ping in the chat window so that will be answered or will be addressed at the end of the session. Okay, I hope everyone understand. Yeah, thanks guys. So let's go into the details actually. So I'm just providing my details initially. I mean, it's about a simple um details about myself. Like actually, I have total 12 plus years of IT experience. So I was purely into software testing, that too into software test automation. Okay, so currently I'm working as a technical test specialist actually, like automation specialist for one of the uh, 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 MNCs available in our market. And if I see my entire career, I was into automation for almost 10 plus years. Like out of 12 plus years of experience, I was purely into automation for 10 plus years of experience, that too with Selenium. And I also have some other tools experience like UFT, like HPUFT, we also call it as QTP, and also Eggplant from TestPlant. It's an image-based automation tool, and other Auto 80, and even other different test frameworks and other integrations which we use for Selenium test automation. And also, I have a very vast experience in training the folks, guys, like training the students or people. So I have been giving training from past 3.5 years. It's almost 20, 25 batches I have dealt already. Okay, so this is all about myself. So let's get into the details. Yeah. So today topic is uh, sorry.
Setting up in
Please mute yourself. Someone.
optional and can I show you exactly how to control this?
Okay. Guys, so let's see what is the uh, trend in the market actually. Suppose if you see nowadays, the automation word itself has become as a buzzword. Like anywhere, if you see in the IT industry, so many, I mean, projects are the products are the business stakeholders are talking about automation. and they are investing more in the automation actually, because the automation has become something like a mandate, or mandate in the sense like it's a trendy uh, uh, process in the like accept in the thing. So that the main reason for this buzz is because automation has a lot of benefits. So that even the one of the best or one of the biggest benefit is like, so they can release their products or projects to the market early if we have a automation in place. So that's where automation has become a buzzword, a trendy word in the market, not in the software testing market, guys. So it's in the entire IT market. It's not specific or limited to software testing. Automation is anywhere. I mean, you can implement automation even in development process, software development process, or you can implement in some other areas, not only specific to test automation or testing area. So next, I'm not directly jumping onto our main topic like Selenium, guys. I'm just starting from the basics, like what is automation and what are different types of automations we have, like that. Let's go step by step. And anyway, I will give more details or more information on Selenium also. So next thing is, what is an automation actually? So as I mentioned, it has become like one of the buzzwords or trendy word in the market. Let's understand what is automation first. So it is nothing but a technique, guys. So it's nothing but a technique to make any process or the functionality or a mission to work automatically on its own with a little human intervention. Okay, so it's a technique in the sense that that's where we are going to develop or design the technique to make any particular process or functionality or a mission to work on its own or automatically with a little human intervention. But why I'm mentioning human intervention is, so to run our test cases or scripts or any process, initially we need to start it. So that's where a little manual intervention is required. So once the automation execution is started, so nowhere we need any human intervention there. Okay, so anyway, I don't need to explain what is a process and functionality and machine, but anyway, let me quickly tell about what is process. So generally process is nothing but there are multiple tasks, so they are performing in a sequence order, so that is called simple process. And also functionality is nothing but, suppose I have an e-commerce website where I need to place an order. It's simple, something like Amazon site, or for Indian folks like Flipkart or something. So I want to place an order. So generally what we do, we'll go and launch application and then add items to the cart and then provide address details and payment details and then place an order. So this is functionality. If at all I want to make this functionality to work on its own, like to work automatically, so I write some script, or I generate some technique, or I create a technique to to make this functionality work automatically. So that's where I use this automation and then make that placing an order is automatically, so that it will place an order and it will provide order number at the end. So that is the thing but an automation. Next, let's discuss about what are different types of automations we have in the market. uh, So one of there are actually two types of automations available. One is a traditional or the functional automation, and other one is a process automation. So let's go into the details of what is a traditional automation or functional automation. So this traditional functional automation comes under our software testing industry actually. So this is nothing but where we automate, or where we test our functionality or the business functionality of our applications actually. Like this is where we automate the functional flow of our application. So that's where we will validate the functionality of the application, guys. So this traditional functional automation is more focused on validations or the testing of that particular application. Actually, like if I as I just given one example, right? Like e-commerce website where I want to test the functionality of placing an order. So that's where this traditional automation comes, where we automate the functional flow of that particular placing an order, and then we'll validate whether it is working fine or not. Okay? That is nothing but a functional automation, a functional test automation. So there are multiple tools available in the market to do this particular functional automation. There are some automation tools like Selenium, UFT, IBM RFT, Test Complete, even Eggplant, as I mentioned, the Protractor, Jasmine. There are number of automation tools available, guys, and number of automation tools available for this. And next type we have is process automation. Okay, so this process automation is not at all related to testing or software testing industry. So this can be implemented anywhere in the IT industry, anywhere in the IT industry. Like, so we can use, or we can create a process automation in development process, I mean software development, or any other support projects or somewhere. So here actually what we do, so under process automation, we try to automate the one process. So this process automation is not going to concentrate on the validations or the testing of this particular process or the application, guys. And also the other main difference is, under test automation, we mainly focus on one or two applications, and will more focused on testing or the validating that particular application. But when it comes to process automation, we more focus on the workflow. Like we try to automate one workflow or one process, and then check whether that workflow is working fine or not. We don't more focused on validating that particular applications or something, whatever applications are involving in this process automation. Let us take simple example for this process automation as well. Like, suppose I have a workflow, or I have a process, something like I have an application, guys. So where I will simply, that application, it has a lot of pages, or it has a lot of functionalities, where it generates a report at the end of the day. Okay, so it generates a report based on the user logins or based on user actions. It generates a report. And generally what I do, when I open my, I mean at next day, so generally it generates reports at the end of the day. Next day when I go to office, I open that application and I download the reports from particular folder or particular page, and then I attach those reports to my email, and I will send those reports to the stakeholders or the business team. So that is a process actually. So in this process, there are multiple applications are involved. Like, one is actual application, email is one application, and a downloading from particular location in the sense, either in the system location or somewhere in the cloud, right? And downloading those, and then attaching to the email and sending. So all these applications are involved, and we are going to automate this entire workflow or the process. So I will first automate downloading the reports and attaching them, and going to the particular space where it downloaded, and copying those files, attaching to the email, and getting the email addresses of stakeholders or business persons to whom the actual these reports should go, and then send it. So this particular process or workflow will be automated by using a particular specific tools available in the market. So that process is nothing but where we use a different tools here also, like to automate this entire process. So there are multiple tools available in the market. These tools we also call it as RPA tools, guys. So RPA is nothing but robotic process automation. So actually this RPA itself is a separate uh, uh, separate separate aspect actually. So where we see we use a different tools like Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, or UiPath to automate this particular workflow or something. Okay, so this is all about what are all different types available in our market. Now let's see what is a test automation actually. So till now we discussed on a broader level, like what is an automation. Now when it comes to software testing industry, okay, software testing industry, what is test automation? So before going to test automation, guys, let's see what is a manual testing actually. I will just brief about manual testing, and then so that you people can easily understand what is automation testing or test automation. So generally in manual testing, what we do, we'll take an application in the sense any project or product. So we'll try to check or validate the functionality of an application. Okay, suppose a simple application is like web e-commerce application where I need to validate or check the placing an order functionality, whether it is working fine or not. So in manual testing, what we do, manually open that particular application in the browser, and then select an item from particular item product list, and then add to cart. And while adding the cart, we'll also validate whether the price of item is proper or not. And if at all I want to increase the item, I mean size or something, or I want to increase the quantity of item, all these will do it manually. And then we'll add address details and payment details, and then place an order. And at the end, we'll validate whether order got created or not, and we'll check whether that order number is present in the order confirmation page or somewhere. So this process or this we do manually, like uh, uh, the person who sits in front of a machine and then perform all these actions manually, step by step. So this is nothing but a manual testing, and in the process the person will validate a lot of things, like as soon as item got added to the cart, he will check the cart page, shopping cart page, where all the elements are displayed or not, where all the expected elements are displayed or not. So actually here we compare the actual results against the expected results, guys. That is nothing but entire testing. I mean, testing is nothing but comparing or validating the expected results against the actual results. So expected results are nothing but the results which are already defined in the sense which are already uh, mentioned in the document or test cases. Actual results are nothing but whatever we see or we observe while testing it. So suppose I am clicking a button, then I see one page is opened. That is actual result. So I will compare that actual result against expected result. Expected is nothing but they mention something like on click of this button, the page should be open. That is an expected result. So while doing that action, we will also compare whether that particular page is open or not. So that is nothing but the testing. The entire testing or the whole concept of testing relies or depends on comparing the results. That is nothing but what results, expected and actual results. Okay. So generally in manual testing, we do manually. One person will sit in front of the machine and then do all these things. So then what is automation testing? Okay, let's discuss that. So automation testing is also same thing as, only thing is here we will use a particular tool. Okay, some automation tool to perform this, actually perform in the sense to validate or to test the functionality of that particular application. Okay, so here in case of automation testing, we are going to use a particular tool, automation tool. We automate the test cases which we have already, and we will validate or will compare the results like expected and actual results. Okay, that's what I also mentioned here in the slide, like it is nothing but using an automation tool to automate the test cases, and will execute those test cases, and finally the main aim of our testing or automation testing or manual testing is nothing but to compare the actual results against the expected results, whether it is working fine or not. So that's where we generally use a automation tool here. Then why we need automation testing, guys? Suppose this testing can be done by using manual team or something, right? So the same task or same thing we are going to do by using tool. What is the difference, and why we need automation testing even though we have a manual testing in place in the market? Okay, so let's see the benefits one by one. So if you see, guys, it saves a lot of time actually if you have automation testing in place, and also a lot of cost. So I have 1,000 test cases for my application. There are 1,000 regression test cases for my application. So suppose if at all I want to validate, or if at all I want to test all these test cases manually, it will take lot of time. It will take maximum like suppose 4 to 5 days. for a team of 2 to 3 test engineers. Suppose if I have automation in place, I can run those test cases, and in 1 hour, 1.5 hours, I can get the results just in 1 hour. The same test cases which are going to be executed or tested by the manual team, for them it is taking 2 to 3 days. The same thing I can validate in 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Okay, so that's where it saves time and cost in the sense, suppose if you see, to validate or to test 1,000 test cases, so we need 2 to 3 resources, right? Manual test engineers. Suppose I have already automation in place, I have used 1 person to automate all those, 1 or 2 persons to automate all those 1,000 test cases, and then we don't need anyone also once while executing that. I need only one resource for executing those test cases and validate the failures and all those things. That's where the cost is also reduced. I don't need more resources to resources for testing or doing that activity. Okay. And next thing is 70 to 75% faster than manual. That is obvious, guys, because if you see manual testing, the person will sit in front of the machine and he will perform all those actions and then validate. But once we have automation in place, it will take care of everything and it will run quickly. And in automation testing, we have other advantages, like you can run test cases in parallel in different missions at a time, so that 1,000 test cases get executed very faster. So that obviously it is very faster than manual testing. Then it will have a wider test coverage, guys. And the sense, suppose if you have application, it has a lot of features in it. It's a huge application. There are some 100 pages in it. Different functionalities are there. So we can cover all those things by using our test automation. And the more important thing is the results also will be very reliable. So whatever, suppose after running our automation test cases, we'll get the results, right? So even we can do validations, I mean we can check the failures. And even in automation, we have an option to capture the screenshot. So during our execution, suppose somewhere it failed, then using this automation tool, we can capture that screenshot, so that at the end of the execution, we can go back and do some failure analysis and then check why it has failed. So that's where we can see the reliable results actually. Next thing is, human intervention is not at all required during the test execution, guys. So suppose test automation execution is going on. So you initially you started your automation execution of 1,000 test cases. So once you start, you can leave that mission and then go and work on different other things. Because during automation execution, you don't need to sit in front of the machine and then see. So it will take care of executing all those things. At the end, it will send an email with all test results. That's where during automation execution, we not at all required. I mean, manual intervention is not at all required. And efficiency wise, it will increase the efficiency of our quality of our application, guys, because we will validate, or we will include all the validations or the pages into our automation. Next thing is reusable test scripts. This is one of the other important benefit if you have automation. For this, let me take a simple example. Suppose I have some 1,000 test cases for our application. So in all 1,000 applications, the first step or first thing is log into the application. Okay. So I have written one simple test script for logging into application, and all in 1,000 test cases, I can reuse that piece, that test script in all 1,000 test cases. I don't need to write again 1,000 times the same login piece, guys. That's where we can reuse the test automation scripts wherever required. Okay, so that's where in 1,000 test cases, I don't need to write a script for logging into application 1,000 times. I can write once and reuse it across all 1,000 test cases. That is another biggest example benefit we have in automation. And test frequency and thoroughly. So that is nothing but more number of cycles in the nothing but. So suppose I want to run my test cases twice in a day or thrice in a day, because of some regression testing or because of some release planned. So I want to run or execute my 1,000 test cases every day 2 times or 3 times. So that's where if you have automation in place, you can simply run your test cases and then get the results. But if you don't have any automation testing, if the same 1,000 test cases are going to be executed by manual team, that too 2 to 3 times in a day, it is going to be lot of time it is going to take, guys, right? So that's where, so that it saves a lot of time, and you can run or you can perform your regression testing n number of times in a day. And finally, the main benefit or main advantage we have if you have automation is we can release our products or projects to the market early. Suppose uh, we can start our automation in the early stage of a development phase, and then run the test cases during each build or each deployment to the staging environments or on lower environments, and then make sure the quality of the application is better. And then at the same time, we can release our products or projects to the markets very faster. Yes. So because of these benefits or advantages of automation, so that's why if you see the business stakeholders or the the, the clients, actually they're more inclined to have automation in their projects. So next, let's see the main thing. I mean, the course, whatever course we are going to learn is nothing but Selenium test automation, guys. So as I mentioned, Selenium is one of the tools available in the market for testing or test automation. So let's see what is Selenium, why we need Selenium. Even there are a lot of n number of tools, 100 or 1000 tools available in the market. Why we need to learn Selenium only? Okay. So let's see what is Selenium first. Okay. So as I mentioned, this is one of the simple thing is this is one of the tools available in the market, guys. And Selenium is not a single tool, actually. It is a set of tools in the sense those are not a big tools, guys. It's a smaller tools. So it is a suite of softwares. It is basically designed for automating web application interactions. Okay. So the main aim for Selenium to automate the web application interactions, guys. So I'm insisting or emphasizing this particular thing is web application interactions, because Selenium can talk to only web applications. We can use Selenium tool for automating web applications. So let's see what is web application. So web application is nothing but the application which we open in a browser under internet. Okay. So suppose I want to open a Amazon site, or I want to open a Flipkart site, I want to open some Facebook site. So what we do, we'll open those in a browser, right? Browsers are nothing but Chrome, Firefox, IE, all these available browsers. So a web application is nothing but application which we open over web or in a browser on internet. So those web applications, so Selenium can talk to all web applications. We can automate web applications interactions using Selenium. Interaction is nothing but how the manual user clicks click on a button, or entering some text into text boxes, or filling up some forms, and and reading some text, all these, right? So similar way Selenium can do all those interactions. It is nothing but simply it mimics the manual users, guys, how the manual user perform the actions. Similar way Selenium also perform the same actions by using a script. Actually, script is nothing but some set of lines, simply. Okay. So that's what I mentioned here also. Selenium is a suite of softwares which is designed to automate web application interactions, so that scripts, whatever automation scripts we write, right, it can automatically perform same interactions that any user can perform, actually, right? So any user, any manual user, how the he perform the actions, similar way Selenium also perform the same actions. So as I mentioned, it's just it is aimed to mimic the behavior of the real user, how the real user behaves while testing, right? Similar way, using Selenium we can automate those actions or the behaviors. As I mentioned it's not a simple or single tool, guys. It is a combination of four different components or the tools. Selenium is not a simple or a single tool. So there are different tools like Selenium RC, Selenium IDE, Selenium WebDriver, and Selenium Grid. So in our course we will also discuss each one of detailed. But if you see, out of all these four different tools, Selenium WebDriver is one of the most powerful component of Selenium tools, guys. So Selenium RC is basically it's a basic version of Selenium. The older or the first version of Selenium, we also call it as Selenium 1.1.0. Nothing but Selenium RC. RC is nothing but remote control, guys. And Selenium IDE is a simple play and record and play tool actually. So it is simple and add-on to the browser. So the Selenium IDE will be available for Chrome and Firefox browsers. You can use this Selenium IDE to record your actions and then play it back. Okay. When it comes to Selenium WebDriver, it is one of the most powerful tools available in Selenium because it follows an object-oriented approach where you can use your where you can automate your applications very effectively, and you can validate your applications. I mean functionality in a efficient manner if you use Selenium WebDriver. And Selenium Grid is another important tool for Selenium where you can perform a distribution testing, guys. So distribution testing is nothing but suppose you have a huge number of test cases, like some thousand test cases, and you want to run those test cases very quickly. So using this Selenium Grid, you can distribute those test cases to the different missions, and then you can run them parallelly. Okay. So I will give a better example for Selenium Grid, how Selenium Grid works. Okay. So let me take a simple whiteboard where I will show you how this Selenium Grid works. Quickly, I will take just 2-3 minutes, guys. We have a whiteboard, something, just a minute. So in Selenium Grid, actually there are multiple things. We will have something called hub. So this is nothing but hub and node architecture. So I will be having different missions. So these are, suppose let's assume these are different missions, guys. Missions in the sense, so these can be like Windows missions, Windows operating system missions, or Linux or Unix or Mac OS. Okay. Suppose, let me see. So in Selenium Grid architecture, we will be having something like hub and node concept. Okay. Suppose, let me take another. So this is one mission. We call it as node. Let me take it as node 1, and it's a Windows operating system mission. And this is node 2. This is Linux. This is node 3, and this is Linux or Unix, whatever. And because Selenium is a platform independent, we can run our Selenium automation scripts in any operating system, guys. Node 4. And this is suppose Mac OS. This is nothing but Apple OS. Okay. So if you see, guys, these are in Selenium Grid architecture, the architecture will be something like this. And if you see, sorry. Okay, let it be. Suppose if you see, this hub is connected to all 4 node missions, guys, like this. Just a minute, like this. So hub gets connected to node 1. Sorry, let me put like this, whatever. So like this, hub is get connected to node 1, node 2, node 3, like this. Suppose I have total 1000 test cases in my automation, in my application, like some total 1000 test cases. So when I use Selenium Grid and run these 1000 test cases, so in this hub and node architecture, the hub will divide these 1000 test cases into chunks. Chunks are nothing but a small set of test cases. Suppose it will divide these 1000 test cases based on the number of node missions configured in the architecture. Suppose there are 4, right? So then hub will divide this 1000 into 4 pieces, like 250 test cases, 250, 250. So then when we start running these test cases in a Selenium grid, so first 250 test cases will get executed in node 1 mission, and second 250 test cases, second chunk of 250 test cases will get executed in node 3, then sorry, node 2, node 3, and node 4. Like that, it will execute the test cases in parallel by a distribution manner. So this hub will distribute these 1000 test cases among the 4 or how many nodes we configured in our grid architecture. So that's where the one of the main advantage of using Selenium grid is you can make your automation execution faster. And also, if at all you want to validate your test cases among different operating systems, like I want to run same set of test cases in Windows, Linux, or even Mac OS and check, then you can use it. Or else, if at all you want to run your same set of test cases in Windows machine only, but in 4 different browsers, one in Chrome, one in Firefox, one in Safari, one in Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, then you can do that as well using Selenium Grid. Okay, so this is all about Selenium Grid, guys. So let me quickly where we are. Yeah. So this is all about Selenium, guys. Let's see why we need Selenium actually. As I mentioned, right? So there are a number of tools available in the market. Even if you, who are from Selenium, sorry, software testing, you might heard about different tools. Then why we need Selenium actually? Okay, so there are multiple reasons to opt for Selenium actually. So one of the main reason for having this Selenium tool in software testing is it's an open source automation tool, guys. Open source is nothing. What is open source? Open source is nothing but the source code of this particular tool is open to all. Okay, you don't need to pay anything, you don't need to purchase any license to use this particular Selenium tool. You can go and go to the official site of Selenium and download the libraries, and then you can configure and you can start your automation journey directly by automating different applications. You don't need to purchase any license, or you don't need to put any penny here. Okay, so that is one of the main advantage of using Selenium. That's where even the business stakeholders or the clients prefer to use Selenium. It's not only open source, it's very efficient also. Okay, it's suppose it's free, that's where it won't work. It's not like that. It is very efficient tool. And next one is it supports multiple browsers. So if you use Selenium, you can automate or you can validate your test cases in multiple browsers available in the market. The major uh, browsers which are available, right? Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Safari, Opera, all these browsers you can run your test case in all these browsers because Selenium supports multiple browsers, and it also supports multiple programming languages, guys. So actually Selenium tool itself, I mean, by learning simple Selenium tool, tool functions are the concepts, you can't automate your application. So we need one programming language support. So Selenium alone cannot automate application or something. You need one programming language behind, right? So that's where Selenium supports multiple programming language. Something like, suppose you are good at Java, or you are good at Python, or you are good at C Sharp, nothing but .NET. So you can use Selenium with those particular languages. It supports almost 5 to 6 programming languages, guys. Something like Java, C Sharp, Python, Ruby, JavaScript, Node.js as well. So all these things you suppose if you good at any one of these, and you can use Selenium with that particular language. And as I mentioned, right, it supports multiple operating systems. You can write your automation scripts in one operating system, something like Windows, and then you can run them in different operating systems, or Linux or Unix, or somewhere in even Mac or iOS machines. And it supports multiple frameworks. There are multiple frameworks available in the market, something like Cucumber framework, or TestNG framework, or NUnit framework, all these, right? It supports all major frameworks available in the market. Okay, you can easily integrate Selenium with different frameworks and get the benefits of those frameworks as well as part of your automation. And another thing is it has a larger user base, guys. User base in the sense, if you see in the software industry, there are a lot of companies or lot of people are using Selenium as a automation tool. So that's where, as even it's a open source tool, so generally open source tools will have one disadvantage generally, like there won't be any proprietary persons or the team who supports you. Suppose if you stuck somewhere or you need some help, there won't be any dedicated team to support you, because it's a open source. Once they deploy, once they release to the market, so anyone can use. But as it has a larger user base, larger different communities are working on this particular automation, you can get help from anyone actually. So if you post your question on Google, as soon as you stuck somewhere, you will get lot of help, guys. And I mean, there are a lot of blogs or communities discussing about a lot of issues or lot of advantage of the Selenium. So you are not alone actually. Like, so even if you have any doubt or something, there will be a lot of teams will be available, you can get help from them. And moreover, it is very simple tool and very easy to adapt and very easy to learn, and then automate your applications, guys. So because of all these advantages, Selenium has become one of the most powerful tool in the market. Okay, I will give some surveys or some trends in the IT market about Selenium also, so that you will understand how Selenium is very popular in the market. Next, this is also similar. Why to choose Selenium? Because of these reasons: multiple programming language, multiple operating systems, multiple browsers. So it supports, it's not limited to one particular browser, or it's not limited to one particular programming language or operating system. And also, if you see in the tech giants like Google, Facebook, and all these people use Selenium as part of their testing. In fact, the Selenium WebDriver is developed by a person called Simon Stewart, who is from Google actually. When he was working for Google, he designed and developed that Selenium WebDriver tool. Next, guys, this is all about the brief introduction about Selenium. I am going to show you how Selenium actually works. So I am going to take a simple example, and then I will show by running that particular test case, and how the browser is going to open, how the Selenium tool perform the actions on browser, all those things. Okay. So for that, I just take this simple use case here. Suppose if you see, I'm going to open a Chrome browser. I'm going to launch this particular site, wikipedia.org. In this site, I have a search box where I will enter that some search keyword into the search box. And then there are other controls like clicking on search icon and all. I will select the language. There is a drop down for selecting the language, and then click on search icon, and it will navigate to the different page where it will show the content of that particular page, and I will validate the header tags, and at the end I will close the browser. This is a simple use case or test case where I want to automate. So for that, how can I automate this by using Selenium? I'm not going to teach you here or show you line by line, but I will tell you how the Selenium actually works or interacts with the web application. Okay. Let me first show you that particular application, and then suppose manually I'm going to do that validation. Suppose I'm going to open my Chrome browser. Okay, and I'm going to navigate to that wikipedia.org site. As soon as I open this, it opens this home page where I have a search box, language drop down, and a search icon. I'm going to enter some text, something like India. Okay, and I'm going to select a language like let's select English only, and then click on search icon. As soon as I click on this, it is navigating to the next page where the details about India has provided. So I'm going to validate this particular text here, whether this header has India or not. This is my use case. So let's see. Uh, I automated already this by using Selenium, and I will run and show you. Okay. So I am going to, this is my automation script, guys. Simple automation script by using Selenium with Java. Okay, this is Java. I created one sample Java project for this particular demo, and then I created a script to automate that particular use case. So now I'm going to directly run it. I'm not going to explain what is this, what is that, because you need a lot other information prior to understand all this. Okay, let me simply run it. See, as soon as I run, if you observe that I don't have any Chrome browser open it now. It is going to open a Chrome browser now. See, it started, it's starting Chrome driver. See, it opened a browser and it entered a URL into the location there, and page loaded. It entered India, selected English and clicked on search icon, and it navigated to the page where the India content is there, and it's loading. So one thing is Selenium will wait till the page loads and it validate and it will close the browser. See, it is validating that India and it closed the browser. That's it. See, it gave the header text as India. We read that particular header text and printed here. Okay, and at the end, my test is passed. Okay, so this is how we simply validate. You guys understand, right? How the Selenium works. It opens the browser. So if you see how the manual user interacts, right? How I initially opened the browser and how I entered the URL, clicked on buttons, navigating to the different pages. Similar way, Selenium will also perform the actions by using the simple Selenium script. Here I have used a programming language called Java, guys. Okay, so let's go. Don't worry, guys. The script, whatever I have written, I will explain line by line in the course. Now, see what is the basic 7 steps to automate any test case available for us. Like, suppose this is, we saw one test case, right? To automate any test case in Selenium, if you follow these 7 basic steps, you can automate any test case, n number of test cases, any complex test cases, even simple, medium, complex test cases. Any test case you can automate if you follow simple 7 steps. The first step itself is we have to initiate the WebDriver. In Selenium, we have one tool called WebDriver, right? We have to initiate that WebDriver tool, and we need to navigate or open the page or the application. And the third step, we need to locate the web elements, whatever elements we are going to interact, like text box or button or drop down. We need to first locate those elements by using a locators in Selenium, and we need to perform the actions. Next thing, like clicking on a button or entering some text into text box, all these actions. Next, once we click on a button, we need to anticipate for browser response, because this is very important, because there should be a sync between our script and the application. That synchronization we need to provide, so that we need to wait for that particular browser response and then validate something, record the run the test case and then get the results, and then finally conclude a test is nothing but closing the browser. Okay, if you follow these 7 basic steps, then we can automate any test case, whether it is a simple, medium or complex, whatever we can automate. Okay, I will compare these steps against my script also. Let me quickly do that. See, I have also commented out, like suppose this is the first step where I need to initiate my WebDriver. So don't worry about what is this WebDriver, what is this Chrome driver and all, guys. So these lines of code, these 3 lines of code for initiating the WebDriver, this single line of code for launching the application or the URL into browser. Okay, and these 3 lines of code for locating the web elements. One is for search icon, one is for language dropdown, one is for that search icon, right? Text box search icon. And these 4 lines for performing actions, like I am entering India into that particular search box and selecting English as a language and clicking on search icon. And these 2 lines are for anticipating the browser response. Is nothing but as soon as I click on search icon, it is navigating to the next page and waiting for page load, right? I am giving some wait here to wait for this particular header to be loaded. Okay, then after anticipating browser, I am going to validate this, whether that header text, I'm just reading the header text and I am providing simple validation here and checking whether India is there or not. And finally, I am closing my browser, concluding testing, but closing my browser. So this is where we simply automate any test case by following simple basic steps. Okay, yeah, just a thing. I'm almost done, guys. I'm after this. I'm going to, yeah. So as I mentioned, right, Selenium supports multiple frameworks and multiple tools available in the market. If you see, guys, so whatever tools or tech stack, whatever I have mentioned here, all these are open source tools like JUnit, NUnit, Apache PY, Ant, TestNG, Cucumber, Maven, Jenkins, IDEs, integrated development environment, AutoIT, all these are open source. Selenium can easily integrate to these tools and then get the benefits of those. Okay, so that's where Selenium has become one of the most popular tool in the market, guys. And what are different types of testings can be performed using Selenium? Okay, so the main thing is Selenium is a functional test automation tool, guys. You can do core functionality testing using Selenium. Okay, then you can perform GUI, I mean basic UI testings and database testing by using Java JDBC. You can do database testing, usability testing, I mean UAT testing, regression testing, sanity or smoke testing, cross browser or browser compatibility testing. You can run test case in different browsers and check whether it is working fine in all browsers or not. End-to-end testing as part of your application, and business process testing is very little extent. Like if suppose any simple process is there, we can perform us, but it's not more focused on business process, but all other. The main thing is Selenium is a functional automation tool. You can validate functionality of your application. Okay. So next thing is this course, right? Whatever Selenium automation course, we are going to learn by using Java language, guys. Selenium with Java. And so as I mentioned, right, Selenium support multiple programming language. So though there are multiple programming language, why Selenium with Java is very hot in the market. Like, so if you see, if you learn Selenium with Java, the opportunities will be more compared to the Selenium with other languages. So that's where the course is also designed like Selenium with Java. So then let's see why Java is very important, because so Selenium has a good support for with Java, guys. If you see, uh, there are a lot of blogs or community discussing about different issues on Selenium with Java. If you have an issue while automating, you have an issue. If you and you are using Selenium with Java, if you just search in Google, you will get lot of help, guys. If you use Selenium with other languages like C Sharp or something, there will be limited help. Okay, and as I mentioned, majority of users in the market use Selenium with Java only. And as because Java is a platform independent, guys, it can run in different operating systems. That's where Java is preferred. And other advantages like, see, Selenium WebDriver, the API Selenium WebDriver library itself, it's written in a Java. So that's where it work very efficient, uh, Selenium, when we use Selenium with. And if you see, 80% of the experts or the Selenium persons, they prefer to use Java, as there is a huge user community available in the market. So that even if you're stuck somewhere, we can get help from them easily, right? And learning programming language itself is a mandate in the current IT industry. So that if you learn Selenium with Java, and Java is also is a popular language in programming language, right? So it will benefit you in both the things, I mean programming language wise and Selenium wise. So next thing, when it comes to Java, guys, generally people who are coming from non-technical background or who are from freshers, they first scare about the programming language, because generally programming language is like we need to write a code, we need to use more brain to design a logic or write a code, right? So there are a lot of misconceptions available in the market, uh, but when it comes to Selenium test automation, how much Java is required? Okay, because Java is a huge thing, guys. Java is something like a ocean. So there are a lot of different concepts available in the Java, like Even if you see core Java, advanced Java, and even in advanced Java, there are different topics like Spring Boot, JSPs, and all these, right? So out of all this, how much Java is required for our Selenium test automation? I'm going to tell you what are all required, right? So as I mentioned, it is a very big thing, Java, and thing, guys, you don't need to learn all the concepts of Java available in the market now. We just need a core concepts of Java, something like object oriented programming concepts. What is a class? What is object? How to create a class? What is a polymorphism, inheritance, and encapsulation? And basic control statements like if else, because we need to validate different things, right? There we need a if else and switch case statements, and how to write different loops, iteration, how to create an arrays, a list of elements, and how and threading and multi-threading. This is also not that much required, but you need to learn some concepts. And exception handling is main thing we need to learn. And collection framework is one of the most important concept we need to learn for Selenium test automation in Java. And IO concepts like how to handle files. Like I have some data in my Excel sheet, how to read the data from Excel sheet and write back to. And also database connectivity concepts, because suppose I need to validate database as part of my testing, then how to connect to a particular database using JDBC, all this. So if you are good at these concepts, these are maximum are 6 to 7 concepts. If you learn these concepts, those are enough, guys, for Selenium test automation. We don't need Spring Boot or struts or JSPs or other concepts in Java. Only core concepts of Java are enough for Selenium test automation. Okay, so let me quickly give some tips and tricks to learn any automation tool, guys. If you follow these basic 7 steps, you can learn any automation tool, any tool in the market, guys. It's not a Selenium, or it's not related to testing also. Any tool, if you want to learn, if you follow these 7 steps, you can easily master in that particular tool. Okay, so first thing, if when it comes to test automation, right? So first, any tool, if you take, it supports some programming language. Any tool, suppose if you take HP, UFT, or QTP, you need VB scripting. Okay, so it supports any single programming language. First we need to train ourselves into learn that particular programming language, and also first we need to understand how much we require to learn. As I mentioned, Java, only core concepts, right? First learn those core concepts of Java as part of your automation learning journey, and then learn the basic features of that particular tool. Suppose you are going to learn Selenium, let's learn Selenium tool. So basic concepts like how to open a browser, how to click a button, how to enter text into text boxes, how to handle different controls like radio buttons, drop downs, and all. Okay, so those basic concepts. And then once you learn those things, then start writing a script. Okay, you don't need to learn all the things initially, just to learn the basics of the tool and also basics of the programming language, and write a script, and then and then run it and see. 100%, guys, first script will fail. Okay, even if you copy from the Google and then run it, it will fail, because there will be some configuration issues or something. So don't stop as soon as your first script fails. So most of us, whoever wants to learn any tool, generally what we do, first we start learning the programming language and all this, and then start writing start writing a script to automate and run it. It will fail and we'll leave there. Okay, even we'll search for some time, and if that is not getting fixed, then we'll leave there. So don't leave your learning thing as soon as the first script fails, because anyway 100% sure your first script will fail. And search for the help. Okay, and here and there, and even Google, or get help from your friends or something, and make that particular script work. Once your first script started working fine, then you will get more confident in learning and exploring the tool. Okay, next step, and go and explore the tool. So you just started with basic concepts, right? Let's see what other concepts are there in the tool and learn it. And and practice a lot. This is the main thing, learning any tool or any programming language. You have to practice. Learning itself won't give you or won't make you master or expert in any tool, guys. So you have to practice a lot. You have to automate lot of test cases, lot of different applications, and then only you will gain the knowledge. Okay. During your practice, right, you improve your work actually. Like, so initially you have written a script in a very basic manner. Once you started exploring the tool and practicing a lot, you will write your script very efficient. In any case, your script won't fail. That's how you learn, and by that's how you get the knowledge, by practicing a lot. Okay. So just remember or make a note of these steps so that you will become master in that particular tool, guys. Just follow these things, right? Yeah. So that's all about our today's Selenium concept. Right? So before closing the session, I'm going to give some trends about Selenium, because I already given why Selenium and why do we need to learn Selenium, although there are a lot of tools available. Because I want to show you what is the trend in the market for Selenium. If you see, these are the job postings uh, uh, across the years from 2005 to 2022. Also 22 in the sense very less. I mean, these 5 days also. Suppose if you see here, the job trends are permanent jobs or the contract jobs are all, the graph is climbing, right? So if you see anywhere, because automation has become something like a mandate in the companies, yes. Even if you just learn manual, I know manual, and then if you search for jobs, it is very difficult to get the job nowadays with only manual testing. Even with 2 years or 3 years of experience, people are asking for automation skill set. Okay. Next thing is, out of all different tools available in the market, Selenium has a major contribution, or the something like the percentage, guys. Suppose if you see QTP or coded UI, SOAP UI, different tools, Selenium has occupied 52% of the market share. And here QTP versus Selenium also 76% Selenium has been occupied. And this is also another survey where Selenium has occupied 28% of the market share. Okay, among all different tools. And programming languages also, if you see 35% of the uh, market share has been occupied by Java, and Python 9 and C Sharp 13, something like that. Even Selenium here also, it is another survey where on different tools 34% of share has been occupied by. And this is another interesting survey done by a company called Enlift. So in the entire world, how many companies are using Selenium, guys, as a test automation tool? So this is the latest number. 54,273 companies are using Selenium. That is equal to 27.7% of market share. Okay. And what are different roles generally we see in the market, like for test automation or for test engineers as well. There will be something like test automation engineer, or a manual tester, or simple tester, senior quality engineer, mobile testing. When it comes to mobile testing lead, or mobile testing, similar way, mobile tester or mobile test engineer, mobile test automation lead, all this. And when it comes to Selenium, they also call it as Java Selenium automation engineer, and test analyst, and test lead, then senior quality automation engineer, technical test leads, test leads. And then another important role is software development test engineer, nothing but SDET. So if you see now, SDETs are more demand, because they are like uh, multi skilled people. Like, they do manual testing, automation testing, and also creating or maintaining the entire automation framework and all. So we call them as a SDETs. Okay. So these are different roles in the market. And finally, who are who can learn this Selenium? Okay. In the entire industry, software industry, are the the folks who are coming out from their education, as a freshers who can learn the Selenium test automation. First thing is software test engineers who are already doing a manual testing. For them, learning Selenium automation is a is a added advantage, because as I mentioned, nowadays even for 3+ years of experience or 2+ years of experience, they are asking a Selenium are asking a automation skill set. So that's where a manual testers can learn, and automation test engineers who are already into any other tools, they can learn. And QA leads who doesn't have any technical knowledge or who doesn't have any knowledge on automation, they can learn. QA managers can learn. Freshers who fresh out of their education, they can learn. And developers even can, they if at all they want to switch to the testing and then automation, then they can learn. And who has any IT background, suppose there are folks who are from IT background, they were not into technical side. Suppose there are folks from system admins, or there are folks something like some support in they were into support team. They also can learn this automation, and then they can change their career into automation world. Okay. And finally, what are all the benefits you get if you learn this sorry, this course, guys? As I mentioned, all the concepts will be explained or taught by in a real time manner, guys, because I will take real time examples and then teach you. And whatever source code I write as part of sessions, I will be sharing those. Suppose as I showed you the script file, right? One Java project where I have written to script to automate a simple flow. So like that, the Java projects or the source code files will be shared at the end to you guys, so that you can, even after the course, you can refer these examples whatever I discussed during our course. And uh, all the sessions will be recorded, that is obvious, and those recordings also will be provided. And also, it's not just learning the course, guys, because I won't just teach you the course or concepts and leave it. I will make sure you guys practice. So every week I will be giving some assignments, a simple assignments, whatever topics we have discussed in that week, so that you guys can practice at your end. Even generally, you guys will practice daily. Apart from that, at the weekend, I will provide some assignments, some with some examples, so that you can take up those, and then you can practice yourself. Okay. And materials, whatever the books or the sites or the tutorials, I will be providing those. And one or two sample resumes will be providing, so that you, suppose whoever wants to add their skill sets into the resume and then provide, I will provide some sample resumes. And one dedicated automation framework. As part of our course, we will be discussing how to design and develop a simple framework also. So that framework also will be shared. And at the end, I will be providing some real-time interview questions on Selenium, and also the core Java concepts. Okay, so these are all the deliverables will be you guys will be getting at the end of the course. Okay, so course duration and day-wise course contents and will be taken care by career IT people. They will share you what is the duration and what is the day-wise course contents, what all different topics will be discussing. Okay, yeah, so that's it from my side for today, guys. I think thank you so much for be patient and listening and bearing me. Now I'm leaving to you guys for your doubts and concerns and whatever you have in mind. It's
Yeah,
what to
good
you
morning,
guys.
Ajay. Venkatesh here.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, your name?
Yeah, hi. Thanks. Yeah, my name is Venkatesh.
Hi, Venkatesh. Yes.
Yeah, thanks for the nice demo. You have given a strong information about the automation tools and trends in the market.
Yeah.
I have a few doubts in my mind.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. As a automation test engineer, uh, uh, ourselves we can create the test cases, or whose responsibility is that? Test scenarios or test cases?
Correct, correct. It's a good question. So, Venkatesh, that depends on the projects or the how they are operating their projects. Suppose in some teams we will be having a manual testing team and automation testing team as a separate. So manual testing team, they will do manual testing and they will write the test cases, and they will provide or share those test cases to the automation team for automation. So they will take up those, automation team will take those test cases and then start automate it. That is one scenario. In some projects there will be only one team who has to take care of both manual and automation test cases, sorry, testing. In that case, so that the single team will be responsible for writing the test cases and also automating the test cases. So that depends.
Okay. Yeah, great. Thanks. And one more, for example, as a test engineer,
Yeah,
I may stick to that particular project. I may ask to involve in other projects also.
yeah, that is also the flexibility which you have in that project. Suppose you can ask your superiors like managers or someone. Suppose you already working on what particular automation tool, like suppose Selenium test automation tool, and you are automating, and that part is done already. Then you want to upskill or you want to learn other tools or something, you want to provide some innovation into your project, then you can check with and then you can learn that and then implement in your project. So it's not limited actually, and that too the based on the
Okay.
workload you have, and the obviously like the managers thing also.
Yeah,
Suppose
yeah, yes, yes.
they are ready to allow you to learn and then implement other innovation things into your
For
projects, they
example,
are ready. Yeah,
yeah, yes, I got it. For example, after this course, Selenium WebDriver,
yeah,
but in my company, they are using UFT. Okay.
okay,
So, how the Selenium WebDriver helps to
implementing UFT or helps to uh, uh, get
got
into
it,
the
got it,
project.
got it. So this is this thing to all guys. Suppose if you see, if you learn any one tool as part of your career, like suppose you are good at Selenium, then learning other tools will be easy, like, so because you already learned Selenium and you have automated some applications, so only the difference will be like the concepts of a new tool you need to learn, and also the programming language. That's it. The other and behind the screen, how you automated, what are all different tips and tricks you learned while automating using one tool, you can implement all those into the next tool. Only thing is just you need to learn the concepts of that particular tool itself. That's it. But inner way, how you are automating and what are different test cases you have automated, all these things you can do it in using next tool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Ajay. Thanks. Nice explanation. That's it from my side. Guys, carry on, please.
Hi Ajay, this is Veerababu. I work on
Yes.
one MNC currently. Can
Okay.
we test 100% test coverage in Selenium?
Yeah, so that also depends on the application, whatever application you're testing. Suppose it's a simple e-commerce web application, then we can do 100% coverage for automation. So there are some areas like suppose you want to validate email part also. Suppose as part of your flow, one email is getting triggered, so you need to validate that email also. So using Selenium with, I mean, say Selenium alone, you cannot automate that validating email, where you need a Java or other libraries to automate that part also. So alone using Selenium, we cannot achieve 100% of our, as you mentioned, right? All the test scenarios, all the test coverage cannot be achieved. but with support of other tools like Java, or as I mentioned, there are multiple tools available in the market. Those also like open source. Using with help of them, you can achieve other things also in your application.
Okay, okay, super. And one more query. Selenium with Java and Selenium with JavaScripting both are same or both are different?
Both are different. JavaScript itself is a client side of programming language. Java is an object oriented programming language. Both are different.
And can we integrate any test reporting tools to in our Selenium for this?
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there are multiple third-party reporting tools available, something like Extent reports, Allure reports, or we can even write our own code to generate a custom report as well. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. This is from my side. Thanks
Yeah.
for support.
Guys, someone has mentioned in the chat saying XPath concept is important. Yes. So as I mentioned, right, there will be some locators to locate elements in the web applications. So part of locators, we have something called ID, name, and also XPath. So XPath is one of the efficient way to locate the elements. So that's where XPath concept is very important, and the entire automation depends. I mean, the pass percentage of your automation test cases depends on your locators, guys, how you located and how your web element locators are robust. Like whatever, suppose some applications will have only IDs, some applications will have applications in the sense web elements. Actually, suppose if I take a button, sometimes it may have ID or it may have name or something. In such cases, you can directly go and take the ID and then locate that element and then run your test cases. But if there is no ID or something, then that's where you have to use XPath or CSS selector, and then I'll try to locate that application element and then interact with it. So XPath is very important. Anyway, don't worry. As part of course, we will be teaching all these locators, and also extensively on XPath we will I mean, most of the examples which I am going to provide during the sessions, mostly I will be using XPath as part of my automation. I mean, those examples. So there is another question. I'm totally from IT. I totally from no IT background, so I see there are many IT background people in the batch. Yeah, sure. So guys, as I mentioned, right, so there are people who are from non-technical background and also who are from non-IT background. Okay, there is a difference. So non-technical background, in a sense, they are already into IT sector, but they were working on different other areas like support projects, or as a system admins or something like that. So for them, bit easier to learn these things. But who are from non-IT background, so they don't have any software knowledge or software system, so for them they have to first learn some basic concepts like even manual testing and all. Okay, so those has to be considered before they start learning this automation tool. Okay, so don't worry, and part of this course, so I see there are some folks who are from non-IT background. I got some information from career IT as well. So if suppose there are members like that, let's plan a manual testing sessions also separately. I mean, as part of this course anyway, we will learn Selenium, but uh, f- we'll take some extra hours and then learn this manual testing as well. Manual testing are the real time how the software software development life cycle works, right? So all these will take as an extra hours, because as part of this course, because there are other people who are already into IT background, and they know the lot of concepts. So I don't want to disturb those guys. So whoever wants to learn even manual testing or the real-time things, who are coming from non-technical background, non-IT background, let's plan that sessions also. But those are extra sessions, guys, not part of this. We'll even on weekends also we'll try to finish. I think maximum 3 to 4 sessions are enough. Maximum. Even 2 sessions also enough for 2 hours. I can teach you them, no issues. And there is one more question. For Selenium, CSS and HTML knowledge is required. Not really required. CSS and HTML knowledge is not at all, not really required. Suppose, because here using Selenium, we are going to locate HTML elements, actually, whatever HTML elements available in the page, web page. So for that, we don't need to learn the entire HTML. Generally, the basic HTML knowledge is like what is input tag, what is button tag, what is div tag, span tag, and that terminology knowledge is enough. You don't need to to learn HTML to design a web page or develop a web page. We just need to learn the basic concepts. Basic concepts in the sense just terminology is also enough. You don't need to have a entire knowledge of HTML or CSS. That knowledge also, even while during the session, right? You guys will be knowing that. You don't need to specially learn HTML, guys. Yeah. Anything else, guys? Any other questions? Did I miss any question? No, I guess. Okay. I think if there are no questions, we're good to close, right?
Yes, yes.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon, guys. So as I mentioned, right, course contents and when the course will get started, all those details will be provided by the Career IT team. So they will touch in with you. I mean, through email or mobile or even through WhatsApp. So don't worry, they will communicate with you today itself. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time. See you soon.
Yeah, thanks, Ajay. Thanks, team.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.